She had a frontal lobe injury that turned into a really black hole in the front of her brain that behaved like dementia, and was a spiral down for 12 years.
As I think many individuals are when they're in a situation of emerging dementia, she knew she wasn't remembering. She knew that she wasn't functioning. She's a very smart person, very clear thinking, and did not miss a thing. When she saw herself failing in terms of her memory, she invented strategies that kept her from having a bad incident. Checking the stove many times, being very careful.
My mother's decline was well hidden by my sister for about 4 or 5 years. She did a lot of things for my mother that we didn't realize needed to be done, and so I think that's another piece of the elder care, is when there's a decline that starts, do you embrace it and let everyone, sort of make it public? It's becoming more acceptable to have Alzheimer's or dementia as a public issue. 1997, 98, it still was a little bit of a, what you wanted to shove under the rug kind of thing, and hope that Mom would, go become normal again.
She had a primary care physician who was, in my view, not adequate for many, many years. One of the things I needed to get in order to get her into this facility, which was for Alzheimer's and dementia patients, was his acknowledgement that she had dementia. But he thought it was horrible that I was moving her to a facility and didn't want to write the verification that she had dementia, even though the care manager had given her a battery of tests and it was utterly clear years earlier that she had dementia. He barely mentioned that it was possible she had dementia in his report, and they had to have that certified at the facility because they couldn't accept patients who didn't have dementia. I'm sure he had some cultural notion that you don't put your mother in a facility, but I was furious and felt utterly unsupported and on my own to do this.
The division in my family came about what my mother's diagnosis was. And although it was clear that something was going on with her brain, I was really the resistor to a definition of Alzheimer's. So I had her tested 9 ways from Sunday here at Mass General, and it was a cardiovascular dementia that they defined more than Alzheimer's. I mean, my mother remembered everyone till the moment she died, really. I mean, she had a lot of memory, but she lost ability to do those things that the frontal lobe does, and that did include her speech after a while. All of these declines have a complication about diagnosis and treatment, and some people here are just, there's only one treatment for one thing. That's how I found it here, where other places that we had my mother, there were multiple treatments, including vitamin and music therapy and things like that. I didn't find that here.
After she moved, they put her on antidepressants, which I think she could have used and had great benefit from for years. And that really, I think, eased her last days, and she wasn't as anxious, and she certainly wasn't as paranoid, which is a side effect of the dementia.